Donald Trump on the phone with us right now. Donald, good to have you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Neil.
Did you envision this day?
Well, I like to win in life. I've done very well in life. I win, and who would know it would be by this kind of a number so early, because I've been leading in all the polls. But we're doing very well, and I hope we continue. And it's all about we make America great again. Very simple message and a very concise message.
Is there personal zeal or satisfaction you get when the same people who scoffed at you back at the time of your announcement that you would be sort of like a supernova, up and then down, that turned out not to be the case?
Well, it's you have to be able to come back in life a little bit. I've had a great business. I built a great company, and it's been it's been an amazing company all over the world. Some of the great assets of the world. I have very little debt, but when you're building it, you have to take little risks, and you have to make sure that if times go bad and if things go a little bit badly, you can handle it. You have to prove that you can handle things, and it's no different with this. You have to go out and prove you can handle it. I was hit pretty hard. I mean, Mort Zuckerman, who owns the Daily News, which is a totally failing paper, he's an insecure guy, and every week they do a cover story, a very demeaning cover story. I guess it sells in some form, but he's, everybody understands he's a very, very insecure person, and his magazine.
That's not even journalism, Don. I mean, as I said it the other, whether people agree or disagree with you is one thing.
No, it's not.
But
it's a disgrace.
That's a disgrace.
Well, he's a lowlife. I mean, I know him for a long time, and he's a lowlife. And to do a thing like that is a disgrace. And you have no idea the heat that they're taking. And he tried to sell the newspaper, and there were no bidders, zero. I mean, not even for $1 they wouldn't buy it. It's a loser. So but you still have to put up. It sits on a newsstand, and maybe a couple of people buy it if it's got my picture on it. But it's sort of I think it's a pretty bad thing to do.
What did you make of the reaction all of this was getting among some others in the press that now beginning today? I was surfing through all the channels saying, well, geez, maybe he has a shot. Maybe he has a shot. What do you think of that?
It is funny, I'll tell you. Before they were saying, oh, well, he's just doing this for fun. He's just doing it for his brand. He's just having a good time. And all of a sudden, I watched yesterday, and they're saying, these same people, these great scholars, and their heads are down, and they're trying to figure out, well, wait a minute, this is actually happening. Well, look, we're seeing we have a tremendous support. New Hampshire was amazing, and so was Iowa, by the way. I did well in Iowa, really well. We came in. There were 17 people when I started. Now we're down to 10 and 9, and I came in second. If you think 17 and you're second, and actually without the Ben Carson problem where they really took advantage of Ben, which was a disgrace because he's a great guy, I would have won Iowa too. So
what do you mean? You mentioned Iowa. That was a state won by Ted Cruz. You can argue about that, but one thing that's interesting, he already has an ad running now featuring kids making fun of you. So he's going right after you within a nanosecond of the results in New Hampshire. What do you make of that?
Well, the process begins. I mean, it's just they're spending many, many millions of dollars, probably over $100 million over the next short period of time on negative advertising. It's called Welcome to the World of Politics. You have this guy Bush, Jeb Bush, who is who you wouldn't even hire. He couldn't get a job in the private sector. And now all of a sudden, I mean, he's spending.
Well,
he spent last week.
To be fair, he has had jobs in the private sector.
He had jobs after he was a governor.
Right.
And you know how he got to be governor. After he was governor, he got a job for a company that I know very well. He's a great guy. Gave him a job for all the wrong reasons. He didn't get a job because of other things. But
he has been gunning for you as well.
No, he and then he goes out and tells her, I am the only one attacking Donald Trump. In other words, like he's a big brave guy. You see the guy; he's a lightweight. But this is what you have to deal with in the world of politics. And you have some very talented people also. I mean, you have very talented people.
Well, what happened to Chris Christie? What happened to Chris Christie? I mean, there's talk today that maybe later on today he's going to suspend his entire campaign. He's back in New Jersey reassessing where he stood. He finished 6th. And oddly enough, his attack on Marco Rubio did hurt Marco Rubio.
Totally.
But it didn't help him. What happened?
Because I guess it was very unusual. It did hurt. It really... I don't know if the word is mortally wounded, but it certainly hurt Marco very badly. He was probably going to be number 2, and all of a sudden he's down to number 5. It was a strong attack, and I was standing next to Marco while it was happening. I was watching this whole thing take place. And look, Chris called me up last night. He's a friend of mine, and he's a good guy, and he's a talented guy, but he didn't come out the way he wanted. He's at 8%, and he thought he'd be a lot higher than that. I thought he'd be higher than that also.